11 piece of equipment, and then Special Reserve, and then you can choose between your Mako and Omega ground sets. The Omega ground set is more tactical, less defensive, and the Mako is more defensive.
Ooh, a ground one.
It wasn't intended, but here it is. We'll do space next.
Okay, let me switch to my weapon stuff.
I think I'll put some armor on.
Put some clothes on, Sarah.
It's kind of cold on the ship.
Okay, so Jupiter Force has had a party on their starbase to show off the season Tier 4, which is pretty cool. And this is the party on the instance inside the base. There might be a few people outside still. I'm not sure. Sure, they're making their way inside. And this is what we're looking at now. So we'll see people later.
Hey, welcome to Trek, the Star Trek Online podcast by Dukesman and Dummy Mark IV Torpedo Casings Entertainment. I know I've been absent for a couple weeks. I was out sick the 1 week, and then the next week or two after that, I've been running around trying to find everywhere I can make a buck to make up for that week I was out, so I can pay my bills. So there just hasn't really been all that much time for Star Trek Online or the podcast. That really hurts, and I'm sorry. Get back to it. This week I'm just going to let you all know just exactly what's going on, and hope to get back to it as soon as possible. Pretty much, I do think I want to take this to maybe a bit of a hiatus, but not a hard hiatus. What I want to do is come back when there's something to really bring to you. I know if I go on Tribble now, I could probably test the flamethrower that has been on Tribble for a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, getting the kinks worked out, which is something I think came from the last great run-in on the forum, where everybody said, "Hey, look, Daniel Stahl, you know, we're seeing you put things into the game that aren't ready to go into the game. We see you put things up on Tribble. We test it for the day when Tribble comes back up. We test it for the rest of that day. Then Wednesday, well, we're still testing it. You're putting it into the build that's going to holodeck on Thursday." Sorry, a little popcorn here. And I think if they stay like this, if they keep the Tribble testing to a week or two on each deal, then they could do a patch in the middle of the month. I think I could wait for the middle of the month for that sort of stuff to patch in. The rest of the month, the patching could be server maintenance, fluff, those sorts of things that don't supposedly need to be tested on Tribble. Having said that, I do want to thank Borticus. In the most recent set of updates, in one of the patch notes, he came out and he said, "Here, I'm gonna," he laid out the math behind perception, stealth, and stealth sight, and then how all those work together. It was boiled down basically, if I have a perception with a stealth sight buff. And so if my perception is 4,500, and let's say stealth buffs me to 4,600. A guy comes along with 4,550 or 4,575, I'm going to see him sooner than somebody that wasn't buffed the same way. So, it was kind of good to know the math. I know I appreciate knowing the math. Pretty much I was going to say, also, since my last post about all the changes that they've gone ahead and snipered in on us, and the fleet marks being pulled from the daily, the investigating officer's report daily, that it itself was pulled, and then now it's just an automatic reward of dilithium based on the average run time in those Foundry missions. The fleet marks did get buffed on the already existing fleet mark content, and then got added to one or two, maybe a few more than that. I know for sure there was one or two that it got added to, based that they are a fleet play, group play. I would like to see maybe the fleet actions. If they're fleet actions, I don't see why you can't get some fleet marks. I wouldn't say make them the sole or make them the largest, fastest way to get fleet marks. But if the fleet actions would let you, well, if you got 10 fleet marks for every fleet action that you play, with a slight bonus as you get first and second and third place. Going the opposite way, of course. I mean, we're not going to give you more for third place than you do for first, but no. Let's say it starts out, let's say the base is 10, everybody gets 10 for playing the content. Then, if you're anything but the 3 in the top, for, 4th place and on, everybody got another 5. So, but only the people that didn't make first, second, and third. So, first, second, and third aren't going to get the 10, the 5, and then their reward for being in the particular place that they are. But everybody that doesn't make first, second, or third, so they're saying they would make 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and on, they get the extra 5. Then, the ones making 3rd place get an extra 10. So they already get that extra 5, and then another extra 5. So then it's 10. It's just, they just get 10 on top of the 10. So everybody else gets 15 total for running it. And then 3rd place gets 20. 2nd place gets 30. We'll jump those by 10. Because they'll get the 10 and then they'll get 20. So they get 20 additional for making 2nd place. And 1st place gets maybe 30 extra. So they'd walk away with 40. And that's probably not a perfect number, but that would be an idea of how to award it for the fleet action. And then from there, it can be tweaked until everybody's happy about the amount they're getting. But it would help keep fleet actions to being played. Because dilithium doesn't seem to be doing that on its own. At least not as far as I can tell. And then, build on it. It is a fleet action. It is fleet. It is group play. Therefore, group play is what they would like to see us get our stuff for. So call it real nice group play. Real nice group play rewards. Dilithium and Fleet monks. So that was where I feel on that. Hey, a bit of news. Neverwinter has gone beta. This last weekend was the beta weekend, and if you're a lifetime subscriber, all you had to do when you logged into the launcher, if you have it selected in the options to show all games that launcher can launch, Neverwinter is a drop down on that list. Now, currently, you can still download the patch, or at least I was able to. I was able to download the game since I started on Friday downloading it, and then ended up playing some stuff. And I forgot about Neverwinter all weekend. I can't play now, but next time I have a next beta weekend that I'm allowed to play, I can play. So, if you're a lifetime subscriber, you're not necessarily going to get, you're not going to get a beta key. The beta key is already applied to your account, so when you log into Neverwinter during a beta play, if you're part of that beta weekend, you will be allowed to play. If you're not, then you may just have to wait for Neverwinter to launch to get to actually see what the game is like. Also, yeah, I just want to go back and reiterate. I'm happy to see things like the flamethrower that still isn't where they want it. I'm happy to see it being tested and feedback being given, so they can come back and go, okay, then we need to raise this by that much and lower that by that much and increase this by this, and it's all said and done. When the Tier 5 Romulan rep reward of the Plasma Flamethrower gets released, I believe everybody that gets it and uses it will feel happy with it. Then it's just a prayer that it doesn't get nerfed. But I think, by design, and on paper, and in the back of my head, the idea that if we're giving it enough time to get it tweaked right before it comes out in the first place, I don't think there'll be too much of an outcry of it being overpowered. Now, the caveat about that is that, well, that all sounds good and feels good. The fact of the matter is, once it is finally released on holodeck, it is undoubted that somebody will find a flaw with it, whether it is a bug that only affects them because it's a bug that only affects certain setups, like, oh, well, you know, if you have an NVIDIA video card and it's less than a 7590, you know, or less than the new Titan or something, then you have a visual bug that makes it look like something else. And then all of a sudden, oh, it's overpowered because it doesn't look like it's supposed to. And I know that's not going to be the real concern there. And most people will kind of forgive it not looking right. They'll say, hey, can you fix the way it looks? As long as the stats and everything and it works like it's supposed to. But the ones I see are the one or two guys that get killed by 5 guys with it. Well, it's overpowered if you have a group of 5. We should have it limited to only one in the group can have it. And if you all have it equipped, then you can't join a group that somebody has it equipped. Which, you know, unfortunately, that would lead to some people not realizing why somebody can't be invited to their group and just going, hey, you can't come to group because we can't invite you. Bug off. And instead of, hey, why can't you come to group? Nah. But, undoubtedly there's going to be somebody that gets shot with it during PvP and they're going to go, that thing is overpowered. We need to get rid of it or change it again. Well, here's the deal on that, Bubbles, is if we keep balancing everything to the way you like it, we're going to be changing it for the one person that doesn't like it, and the several thousand that do like it are going to be told to, you know, fap off. And that's not, well, I guess for them that's not nice. For you, that's how you want it. Well, anyways, enough for meandering and rambling, and enough of you not being able to see the bottom of my face. This is the episode. And we'll bring it back, and we'll see what we can take some pictures of. I may even get some shots of playing Neverwinter if I am in the next beta weekend. Unfortunately, I missed this weekend because it was taking forever to download, and I decided, I'll go play Star Trek Online. Fortunately, you can't download Neverwinter. At the same time, you're playing Stowe if you're downloading it through the launcher. I would like to see Neverwinter's own launcher, but that's fine. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. I hope to be more regular. Again, like I said, I was out 1 week sick, and the following week or two after that, I've been busting my hump to keep everything paid. So, we'll get back to it. Thank you. Enjoy.
You